ladies and gentlemen and NBs, welcome into your State of Play reaction. We just went and saw a State of Play. It was a lot of fun. Connor, I'm going to kick it to you first and foremost. I wanted to score it on the co-op scale, but also I want you to throw out one thing that really added to your experience more so than you originally thought. What sort of like took your breath away more than you thought it would?
I would give this a 7 out of 10. I think it was really good. I think it was just solid. Yeah. And but I had my expectations in check. I knew what I was gonna kind of be getting, and I think I got what I was hoping for. And a lot of stuff looked better than I thought it was going to, like Concord and Astros looks amazing. And then you have Ballad of Antara, which I think was probably the game that I thought was the most interesting surprise of the show that you just came completely out of left field. So I'm stoked on that. So that was the big shocker for me.
All right, Brady, score and how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I agree with Connor. I give it a solid 7 out of 10. It is a state of play. Didn't have hopes too high, so I'm pretty happy with what we got. Called my shot. Concord opened up and then closed it with Astro. Astro looks great. Excited for Astro, especially after you and I are going to play the first one.
Yeah, we're going to do a platinum run for Astros during
Platinum Race?
Platinum Race.
I don't want to call it a race.
No, it's got to be a race.
No, we're now 2 games.
Nick's played it before.
So I need you to beat it, though, before then, probably, which is 4 hours.
That's not going to happen.
No, just do the whole thing. You can platinum the whole game in 3 or 4 hours.
No, what I'm saying is I've already gotten some trophies for it, so he needs to get some trophies.
No, you'll play with
just
the
wipe
controller upside down.
But yeah, I thought it was great. It's solid. It's what a state of play usually is. And showcase state of play, there's different things. The last state of play we got was really solid. And this one I think was a little bit down from that, but not much.
I think that this was a really great showing for what Sony is doing this year. And you combine this state of play with the January state of play. This is your 2024. This is what's coming out on PlayStation 2024. They set expectations really, really well with stating, hey, we're not doing any major sequels. People need to remember this year was supposed to be The Last of Us Factions. That was supposed to be the big tentpole. That now that that's not here, let's fill out the year with great third parties, great partnerships, great exclusives. For me, this is a 7.5. It's just a really good show. It's a showing for on PlayStation. I think that for me, the star of the show was that deep dive on Concord. Sign me the fuck up. I hope that we get codes for it. If not, I will be paying whatever amount of money I need to hop in that game day one. I'm going to try my damnedest to hop into this beta so we can talk about this on some content. It's going to be awesome. The game has personality. It has immediately the biggest thing that I always ask with these games: what's going to keep me in past weekend number 3? Because that's what it's all about. Hey, it's a couple fun weekends. Hey, me, Brady, and Connor hop in for a couple streams and then hop out, and we totally forget about these games. What's going to keep us in like Helldivers? What's going to keep us in like a good live service should? And those vignettes that they talked about every single week.
That's cool.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
If I care about the stories, if we get literally that showing, that initial trailer, once a week where it's, hey, these characters coming together and having a fun time, sign me up. And that will get me to boot up just to check in, rock out with these guys.
They did have the pre-order, so I'm just curious how much it's going to be. Is it going to be a Helldivers where it's $30 and then it's
$40?
That was $40.
$40. And then it's just packs from there.
Why are we so hesitant at being $70? That looks like a AAA first-person shooter.
Because its contemporaries aren't.
Well, yeah, like you said, it's what's going to keep me after week 3? I don't want to pay $70 and then be stuck with that game and nothing after week 3. I think it should be a $30-$40 game, and then you have what packs after that? What do you call it?
Battle Pass?
Battle passes, yeah, battle passes or just skins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just think that this whole presentation is exactly what we expected. And when you look at the landscape for PlayStation in 2024, we knew it was going to be a down year. We knew that. They said it. So if your expectations were in check for that, I think this is pretty solid. Rebirth, Rise of the Ronin, Stellar Blade, Concord, Silent Hill 2, Astros. That's a solid year, guys. It's not even with it being a down year, it's not 2014.
It's better than 2021's lineup. I'll take this over Returnal and Ratchet year.
You're wild for that.
I think consistently it's better. We're talking about
More
true
does not mean
consistency.
better.
But also
good.
we have Rebirth
good.
and Silent
Yeah,
Hill 2
yeah.
on the exclusive end. I'm not saying that like Sony first party is as good this year. It's not.
There's stuff to play. They need to tee it up. They thought they were going to have Last of Us factions, like Nick was saying. They don't. So it's a worse year than we probably would have expected. But with all of that in mind, like I think it's going to be okay, guys. 2025 on. You have Bend. You have Naughty Dog, maybe Sony Santa Monica again, Blue Point, Housemarque. Like these studios are going to be ready to go. And it's just, if this is the down year, if this is the cost of greatness, it's a pretty good trade-off.
Well, I'm going to go and start kicking into this while you go and post the TikTok that Jay Bob just sent over to us. Shout out to our amazing editor and friend, Jay. So yeah, we're going to go and break this down. But before we do, I want to discuss the pacing of the show. This is something that I always like to think through and have the conversation of not just what was shown, but how they showed it, how they presented it. They started out with 10 minutes basically of Concord, and then flew through every other announcement, and then we got a really great solid trailer from Astros. Do you think that was a good pacing where you went through all the entire time, Brady?
I think for a state of play, it was paced really well. I think some other state of plays in the past, it's been like kind of like, oh, hey, we can sit here and talk for 10 minutes. To where like a game did pop up and we're like, it was VR stuff, and we're like, all right, we can chat for a second. But they didn't want to do as much as we didn't want to see it, so they kind of knew how to deliver it. And like I like the way it was paced. I was kind of enthralled the whole time.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I think for a state of play, it was paced really well compared to others in the past. So.
Yeah, I completely agree. Shout out to Ryan for the gifted. Thank you so much, dude. But yeah, I think that this is what you need with this was a tight, locked-in showcase where there was a major beat every 6 or 7 minutes, where we had an amazing moment with Concord to kick it off, and then before we knew it, we were into Silent Hill 2, or we were into that amazing game that I'm completely forgetting the name of that I have up.
Ballad of
Antara.
Antara.
Ballad of Antara. That looked fucking awesome. And then we had things like Silent Hill 2, like Monster Hunter. Oh no, that's the sword game that looked absolutely amazing. Infinity Nikki.
Yeah, that looks fun.
That was
like,
fucking
that
awesome.
Looks like just another kind of Astro like fun little game, but
yeah, well that's the thing that
knows,
built out a showcase. We're like, oh, that looks interesting. I might hop into it. I might see if we can like get something to happen. Like that's what the boring games were not boring. The like down moments were not boring, and then the good moments were really good to great. Like,
can I hit that? Have you ever done this?
No.
Okay.
Eject.
Is it a spacing issue?
Yeah, I have 80 gigs on just TikTok.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
That's wild.
Okay, keep going.
But yeah, no, I absolutely adored what we got to see. I think that this was paced really brilliantly, and I'm really stoked to see what like I think this sets up exactly what we discussed before this. A September showcase. Let's see what 2025 and beyond has to offer. That's where you'll get the big players in. This showcase was legitimately just, hey, let's bring in the B team and let's show them off in the best way possible. Mm-hmm. And I think that they did that. I think that they showed why 2024 you should get a PlayStation. Let's set up a September showcase that has a PlayStation 5 Pro, that has Ghost 2, that has the heavy hitters that we know and love, and then let's deliver the goods after the fact. I think that this was awesome. I think that this was really, really well done.
I would have been a lot happier with The Last of Us factions, but
same.
They still did a great job.
That's the major issue that we're sort of getting into, though, where if Sony first party doesn't come through in a major way, where we don't get 1 or 2 bangers every year, it's really tough. But now that we are having a down year after last year only having 1 major Sony first party with Spider-Man 2, we're loaded up again for the back half of this console cycle. I think the last 3 years of this, 2025 looks to be legitimately the best year of gaming of all time, where we're going to get GTA 6. We're going to get the next Nintendo Switch, which will hopefully come with a 3D platforming Mario, which will hopefully come with some other bangers, maybe Mario Kart 10. Like, I am so stoked for what we're getting next year that it's okay to have a down year as a PlayStation fan and then get excited for next year in September. This being the way we kick off SGF, I love that they get to control their messaging. Hey, Xbox is probably going to do some crazy shit for what we're hearing about on the rumor mill for Xbox. SGF is going to be a great showcase. Let's come out. We understand that we're not going to be the biggest swinger in the locker room, but we're going to come in and show a great list and lineup of games. Yeah, don't worry about that
Okay.
line. Okay.
I don't know where you got that one, but
I said biggest swinger in the locker room. I'm talking about wieners, Connor.
Okay.
okay.
I'm talking about hogs. Anyways, Connor, what did you think of the pacing of this showcase?
I thought it was well paced for the most part. I mean, kicking off Concord, ending with Astros, and then you have good stuff in between like Monster Hunter, Dynasty Warriors, Silent Hill 2. I thought there was some areas that like there was weird stretches, but like nothing crazy. Ballad of Antara definitely kept the vibes going.
We always say when it comes to this is a Andy Cortez line. It's my favorite thing that he always says. Where's the surprises? Where's the game that I have no idea that exists that I come out of this being like, fuck yeah? And that is a game that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to play the fuck out of that when it comes out.
I will see. I want to see more of it.
Yeah.
But it's one of the situations like Black Myth Wukong, like Stellar Blade, where I like there's so many of these kinds of games that like I always worry that it might be all style and no substance. You know what I mean?
But
So,
I feel like a lot of these devs are learning how to throw the substance in there and make an interesting story around the great combat.
Well,
that
it doesn't need
love.
to have an interesting story. It just needs to be good.
Yeah.
Like the game needs to be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. Are we going?
Yeah, let's go game by game.
Sure.
We're just going to run through, and like we can skip over some of these real fast, and obviously we've already hit on some of them, so we can reiterate certain points if we want to. They kicked it off with 10 minutes of Concord. Connor, what is the acceptable price for you?
For Concord?
Yep.
$40 I think is fair. To get people in. But I think free to play makes a lot of sense. But we've already seen Helldivers seems like the kind of game that would be free to play. They charged $40 for it, and people were all over it. So it seems like that's the kind of benchmark that people are looking for most stuff. So,
but not a lot of games can do what Helldivers have done. I mean, they've tried. It just hasn't hit as hard as Helldivers has. I don't foresee it being free, but if it is, that's cool. I don't think
it's gonna be free.
I don't think it is either.
I
Not
think
in
it's
this
$70.
economy.
I think it is 100% $70. I think that if it is as good as they want it to be, I think that they're not going. Their entire live service model is uniqueness or the best. They want to either knock it out of the park or they want to be unique. You want to know how we know that? The Last of Us factions got fucking canceled because it wasn't good enough.
Right, exactly. So you have a studio that like Bungie coming in and checking all of these games. They checked Concord, they checked Fair Games, they checked Last of Us factions. They said Last of Us factions wasn't sticky enough. They said Concord was. So that is worth something.
Yep.
Though Bungie's in a weird spot anyways.
That's such a wild take though. I just think of the OG factions and I'm like, you could have just given me that and I would have enjoyed it 1,000 times more than Concord.
They think that like you need to like have stickiness and have people coming back and wanting to spend money in battle passes. You can already see in Concord the skins in that game. There's gonna be a fucking shit ton of them. You already know they're gonna be able to monetize the fuck out of this game for sure.
But it all comes down to with these games in their monetization. No one gives a rat ass unless the gameplay's good. Yeah. That's all that matters. And they must believe in it enough to put it out there. Like, this is going to be... A lot of people, I think, are going to look at this year, and PlayStation is going to live and die by their live service model that they showed last year. Everyone dunked on.
I don't agree with that. I think that they are stuck with the live service models, and Jim Ryan is out, and they want to get away from it. I think they have Concord and they have Fair Games, and if they hit, then that might change the trajectory of everything. But I don't think this is going to be their future.
I don't think it's going to be their future. I'm saying that this year in particular, though, depends on these big box games, and if they go 2 for 2, it's almost like
you have to.
You got to fucking just put the faith.
Yeah.
Will Concord put Overwatch to sleep?
I think there's a chance.
No.
I mean, Overwatch will never die.
Overwatch is on one knee right now. They're down. Like they're.
But you also have Marvel Rivals coming at a similar time. Having Marvel Rivals and Concord in the same showcase is kind of funny.
It is a little bit weird.
And Concord, I just think looked a lot better.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
that's the thing.
Just like the style and like I don't know the game.
I mean, but there's a difference between Marvel Rivals that's hey, we want to bring in a huge player base, and Concord, which I do believe. I'm at the point that sure, would I like it to be $50? Yeah, I mean, cheaper games, more players. It's gonna be $70. I'm convinced of that.
I think you are out of your mind.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be $70.
Can someone, Big Mac? I know that you're kicking in chat. Can you go and see if there's any update on the pre-orders for Concord to see if they're up to see what the pricing is?
I think it's available.
Or somebody in the U.S. You're right. It's pre-orders. No, wait, isn't the beta in July?
No, the pre-orders were in July. I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know.
I think that it's going to be great. I'm stoked to see. Here's the thing. I don't give a rat's ass on what it costs. And at the end of the day, it's a major PlayStation game. We make content about video games. We're going to end up playing it. So I'm excited to play it. That looked, in my opinion, like one of the more interesting shooters I've seen in a long time. That person that had the jet propulsion, we had the movement shooting, we had a sniper. I'm gonna play the fuck out of that
Yeah,
character.
but that's
like,
nothing
that's
that
awesome.
like Overwatch doesn't already have.
It's not that Overwatch already has it. It's the way that the gameplay actually resolves itself, where like how the movement is. Shooters live and die by the movement. That's what X Divine's conversation's about right now. That's what this game is gonna be defined by, and I'm very excited to get hands on, hopefully, and get to see what is happening with this game.
I think the beta will be a huge moment for this game.
Yep.
We definitely want to get into that beta, see kind of the fact that there even is a beta lends some confidence to the game on how people are expecting and wanting to experience it and what that's going to play like and feel like when it finally launches. If there's a lot of buzz around it after the beta, I think it could do really well. But I'm not sold on it. I think this game could easily be a Battleborn situation where it just falls off a cliff. So
by default, the Marvel one's going to do better just because
it's Marvel.
It's Marvel.
Yeah.
All right, God of War PC.
Cool.
Happy for people to be able to play that.
Play a great game.
Yep.
Awesome. Dynasty Warriors Origins is now the next of this breakdown.
It looks sick. I mean, like I'm stoked for people who are into Dynasty Warriors. It's a series that has like 7, 8, 9 games in like the major like numbered series or something like that. So like that's exciting for those people.
Per Google, Miss Anime says $69.99 for Concord.
I doubt that that's
I'll believe it when I see it.
confirmed.
I just want you guys want Wilds and Astro Bot both for TikTok and YouTube. Wilds for YouTube for sure.
Both. Just give me both.
Both for TikTok also. We'll take them both, Jay. Anyway, thank you.
Also, I can't upload right now because we're gonna have to figure this out after.
Okay, that's fine. So Dynasty Warriors Origins, cool. Infinite Nikki, the cutesy cat game,
That was
a lot
fun.
of fun.
I mean, that might have an audience for somebody. It looks weirder and more different than like anything I've ever seen.
It's not something I'll go out of my way to like play. Like I'm just gonna get when it comes out. But if I ever have like downtime, I might like if it gets good reviews and stuff. Like that could be a cute game to just like chill and play.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be awesome. I'm going to see if we can get into a photo mode and just take cute photos with the cat and platform. And
I mean,
apparently there's Souls bosses in that game too.
Yeah,
so
tell me you don't want to just.
There's so much going on.
Tell me
there.
you don't want to buy a bunch of dresses and wear them on Monday night streams and
Yeah.
play that game.
One off Monday night stream.
Yeah.
All right, I want to break down what GameSpot has written up about Ballad of Antara. Next up was Ballad of Antara, a dark fantasy ARPG from Infold Games and Tipworks Studios. We see a man wielding a large sword accompanied by a woman with a bow who are escorting a small child on the samurai's back. The game is scheduled for a 2025 release. I mean,
Looks sick.
Like this is probably my game to show.
Yeah.
Like other than Concord, which I'm like,
They showed
I'm all
gameplay
about.
too, like a bunch of it.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was just like a CG like deal. It just they really kind of knocked out of the park for a first showing of this game. As far as I know, it's a first showing.
Yeah,
It looks
Brady,
good.
did that do that anything for you?
No, yeah, it looks really good. It's crazy. I mean, I know we're gonna get to it. There's that Alien game, but it's crazy that that game looked so good and it's coming out next year and it's like super intriguing. And then they showed us that Alien game and it says it's coming out this year and it looked real choppy.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Well, it's
this
VR,
is
so that
concerning.
definitely, factors in.
That's true. That's true.
For sure. Then moving on, we had the two VR titles, Skydance's Behemoth and
Behemoth looked
the
good.
Alien game.
Yeah.
But Behemoth looks like every VR game. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
every VR game looks like something that you would do at like an amusement park or something. It
Dave
doesn't
and
look like a
Buster's.
fucking
Yeah,
video
literally.
game. You know what I
Buster's.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I think that's the cap for VR, unfortunately. Like I think we've reached it. And unless there's like major developments in VR technology, then I think we're capped out.
Yeah, and I don't think that we are remotely there. So then we have Aliens Rogue Insurgent that was after that. That looked not good.
Incursion.
What did I say?
Yeah.
Insurgent.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Incursion. That looked bad.
Yeah, it looked bad.
That like, which if you're going 1 for 2 on your VR showing, that's not even worth having in the showcase, in my opinion. Could have saved us all 5 minutes.
It's looking like Astro Bot might be a full-priced platformer.
Great.
That's fine. If,
I-
I mean, like you said, of 10 plus hours, cool.
I think personally that you gotta go and like pay for that.
Right.
You gotta. Why in a world where studios are shutting down left and right, I'm okay to pay full price for a game that I fucking love. And Astro's Playroom is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Astro's also the stones that Sony has to just call it Astro Bot.
Cool.
Fuck yeah.
I like it.
Sign
Yeah,
me
yeah.
up. This is not a little side story. This is the mainline Astro Bot that we've all been asking for a platform. I mean, this is going to be awesome.
I mean, $70. We've had this conversation before. A lot of people get upset with like games are $70. It's like I always bring it back to the point. It's like we go golf 18 holes and we pay $50, $60. It's
Right.
like if I'm getting 10 plus hours of a replayable game, like that's totally fine. Like $70 is fine.
I'm seeing Concord to 70 from a lot of people. I would be curious if that's totally confirmed, but if that's the case, that's crazy.
Concord might be crazy for $70 because
Call
that
of Duty
game
costs $70, guys.
No,
Like,
but
it's not
Concord
the
has
same
the
thing.
opportunity to make so much money after the like original buy.
yeah, but that's what Call of Duty does. too
Warzone
nowadays.
is free.
That's Warzone. Yeah, Warzone's
free, but also-
Black Ops 6 isn't gonna have like that.
I'm just throwing out there. It's okay to pay $70 for
I agree
a
with you. That's
major
what I just
shooter
said.
title.
But for certain games that like Concord that has like that Fortnite-esque and that like Battle Pass-esque game,
Concord
it's
at
like,
40 has held average potential. At 70 is what Touche says.
Yeah.
At $70, it will die immediately.
Yeah,
I think if it's
they'll
good
make
enough,
more money if they make it $40.
I don't know. I think that if it's good enough, it will have the staying power. It's
You
coming
just
out.
need to get
PC
people
good
day
in.
enough
one,
is
too.
such a bad bar to set.
No. I'm saying that I'm saying it's got to be fucking amazing to cost
Oh, see,
$70.
okay, that sounds better.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. It has to be really it has to be good enough to actually
Your
get
attitude just
yeah.
changed so
You need to
hard.
garner an audience right off the rip. And that initial launch is so important. If people are hesitant because of the $70, you're not going to garner that
My
audience.
thing is, it's coming out in August, right? That's a great time for this game to come out. Doesn't
Yeah.
seem like there's a lot of competition. Call of Duty is going to be October or November. Like, that's a great place for this game. I think that people are going to be itching to hop into a Sony first party game and go and shoot some things with their buddies. Like, it's going to be a lot of fun.
You got to also respect the fact that it's a new IP. I just am excited to see something new from a PlayStation studio and not Last of Us 3 and God of War 15 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I just want some new shit. So that is a positive of all of this.
New shit.
All right. Moving on, we had so Marvel Rivals we touched on a little bit already.
Yeah, fine.
Cool.
I'm
We
probably not
don't-
going to play
yeah.
it. I have I'll take Concord over that all day. I'm curious how much that's going to be as well because it's kind of in the same vein.
It's free to
but-
play.
Is it free to play?
I believe so,
confirmed?
yeah.
Yeah. I
Then-
mean, that's just like we said earlier. It's just going to get more traction just because it's Marvel. So
Then we had Where Winds Meet.
I thought that looked okay. I was way less enticed by that than the previous Souls-like that we saw in the showcase.
Followed up, we had Until Dawn. Cool.
We knew that was coming. We'll probably play it just because you and I haven't played it.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be a great one-shot stream with the
right.
crew
That'll
and
be
everything. That's
fun.
going to be a lot of fun. And this isn't updating, so I just want to go through the last three big ones that we haven't discussed yet, which are big ones. If what I'm reading right now, I'm like, oh, this kind of sounds like it sucks. Silent Hill 2 with the date.
But we've already seen it.
Yeah.
I understand, but it's the date that's
doesn't
exciting.
look as good as you want it,
It
to.
really
The
doesn't.
gameplay does.
No, I don't
The
even
game
necessarily
in-game,
agree with
in-engine,
that.
I think it looks
It's
good.
Bloober Team, it's Konami, and like it's just there's so much stank all around it that I just can't trust it, man. Like I want it to be good. You're already using something that's so great with Silent Hill 2 that like I don't know how you fuck it up so bad. So I think the floor is pretty high for it.
Yeah.
But like I still think I want it to be Resident Evil 2 remake level, and it's
Yeah.
not going to be that.
It doesn't
no
look
way.
that good.
I, as someone that seems to be the highest, I completely agree that like that's it doesn't look RE4 remake, RE2 remake level of like, oh fuck yeah, this is gonna be unbelievable, and
Right.
that's okay. Monster Hunter Wilds,
Looks
Fuck.
fucking great.
yes,
I'm in.
dude.
I've wanted to get into the series for so long. I like have not had like a good opportunity to like really dive head first. Now we have an amazing community of people that can hopefully guide us through the world of Monster Hunter, playing with you guys and getting some community nights going. So it's gonna be a ton of fun. I think it looks fucking amazing. I can't tell the difference, like the major differences between World and Wilds, but it looked fucking sick for what we saw. So I'm in.
Absolutely.
We tried to get into Wilds, but we were just too
World.
late. World, sorry.
Yeah, we
World.
were too
We
late.
tried to get into World, a little too late.
Seamless
just couldn't get
co-op.
into it.
Seamless co-op is necessary. That is
Yeah.
the biggest thing for Monster Hunter. They need to make it so you can just join somebody's party and go do missions together. That's it. That's all they have to do, and I'm so in.
I mean, this is the big sequel to one of the biggest franchises in gaming. It's going to sell truckloads, and to go and have a showing that good, it's really encouraging. Last thing I want to discuss, Ryan, thanks for another gifted. Last thing I want to discuss is actually just deep diving into Astros. Fuck, this is, for me, we can go through SGF. We can have things like Gear 6 get announced. This probably will be my favorite thing that gets announced all summer because it's soon, it's exciting. I fucking adore Playroom. Like, this could be my game of the summer just because, fuck yeah, it's Astro.
Yeah. We need more weird shit. And Astros has a ton of personality. It looks like it has tight platforming gameplay, has a ton of varied levels. I love that they're sticking with some sort of level of PlayStation celebration. You ride a fucking PS5. Like, come on.
You
dude.
ride a PS5, you ride a DualSense,
yeah.
you fucking have Nathan Drake and Kratos and Parappa, the motherfucking rapper.
Yeah, they're hitting on all like layers of the history of PlayStation. Like, it's a celebration of the brand, and it's tapping into that nostalgia, which can be cheap, but it doesn't seem like it's just that. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like you have these little cameos and moments of just like, oh, that's cute. Oh, that's cute. And then you have these own unique Astro moments or whatever that seems like that it's a perfect mixture of both. I'm in.
I love that the bosses were not PlayStation focused. They showed, hey, we can get wacky and wild with these environments that we're going to put Astro Bot through, but then let's also have some fun. Let's take some levity with these IPs that we know and love. And I also want to just throw out there, it takes a lot to get certain IPs on board for a game. You know, Sony Santa Monica's checking out Astros being like, do we want to fucking put Kratos in a game that's going to suck? Because that we don't. We need to make sure it's good. Do we want to put Nathan Drake for Naughty Dog? No. It's not just a quick phone call to, hey, Mr. Sony, you want to do this? And it's easy. It's, no, you got to deliver the goods. And they've proven that they can. They deserve it. They've earned it. And now this is going to hopefully be a fucking awesome platformer that all three of us at the end of this year, I would be dumbfounded if this is not only not in our top 10. This will be across the board for us, probably in our top 5.
Yeah, I think that this is, for a down year, and this being the major tentpole title, I'm stoked on that. I know a lot of people aren't going to be, and they want their
Ghost 2.
They want another major franchise to hit again. I think Astros can be a major franchise. It might not be like what PlayStation is known for, but it's good to have some variety in the catalog. Like, not everything needs to be a third-person, over-the-shoulder dad simulator where it's sad dad simulator.
Breath of fresh air, and I think it's a good year for it to come out. Like, it being a down year, it's nice that it's coming out because it's like this can be a big title to where if we had something like Ghost 2 coming out, it would kind of get swept under the rug. So it's kind of cool that it's like we can be excited for this because we have nothing else to really be as excited for.
Completely agree. This is the moment that Astro's going to be able to step out into the limelight. We're in a fucking party. Like, it's going to be a lot of fun having those laughs, having the discussion about it. I hope to God that we get codes for this because I want to play this even sooner than the release date. Like, all I want is to get to enjoy this game in the way that we are intended to. Like, we are supposed to have a major banger from Sony, and I know that, like, you nailed it, Connor. Certain people are gonna be like, nah, like this. Where's Spider-Man? Where's God of War? Where's Horizon? Where's something that gets me out of my seat? This got all of us out of our seat. The moments that they started showing those PlayStation characters were as exciting as a lot of trailer moments I get when Venom pops up in Spider-Man 2.
I know him.
It is the I know him, but it's also the way they're doing it. Fucking Astro, this little bot, this adorable, cute mascot trying to pick up Kratos' axe is fucking hysterical. It's cute. It's fun. Like, those moments of levity just throughout the trailer, for me, damn good trailer. Like, they showed exactly what we're getting. So many bosses. Honestly, if that's all the bosses in the game, that's a lot of bosses. That's still, like, they showed like 6 or 7 bosses. I'm gonna immediately when we cut this out, I'm gonna have to post the pod and stuff like that. But I'm gonna immediately go and watch that trailer as soon as possible. I'm so
because you pointed out like the Shadow of the Colossus, like a sneak peek. I hope there's just like a boss in there where you're fighting a Colossi.
That'd be sick. I think that might be asking too much. It seems like it seems like it's just gonna be the cameos, but even that I think is really cool. You got PS2 with Shadow, you got PS1 with Parappa the Rapper, and you have God of War, you have Uncharted. Like it's so good.
It's just the best. Like this is what if I were to go and say what is a dream PlayStation third person platformer, it would be that. Honor PlayStation's legacy.
When was the last time we had one
fun.
of these? Like, I mean, like, would you count? I guess you would count Sackboy, but it's not. That's
it-
more of
it-
a that's
it
more of a
feels-
double A type game.
Well, it also for the Sackboy Big Adventure, it is not as dialed in for the third person perspective. Like this is a full on a 3D perspective.
Yeah.
Go wherever you want. Go and fight these wacky ass bosses. I know Big Mac wanted it to be co-op. I want a single player curated experience where Team Asobi gets in their bag and delivers the fucking goods. And it's looked exactly like that.
Right.
If I could this morning say, what would a perfect Astro Bot trailer be? They outkicked their coverage on what that was.
I seriously think that he in the start of that trailer was in the Uncharted 3
So,
desert.
opening or Journey.
There was like plane parts all around him.
Yeah.
I think he was.
But I
seriously
thought it was PlayStation parts.
Oh,
I think that
interesting.
there's a chance he's riding that PlayStation and then goes into the
and
desert.
lands in the desert, and then it's the moment in Uncharted 3. That'd be fucking sick.
Dude, I'm a huge fan of what we just witnessed. I think that this was like.
What would you rate it? What'd you?
I
rate
give it a 7.5.
Okay.
I think it's really good.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything that for a state of play to get like really high for me. I think you need something that like is like, oh, that has the potential to be game of the year on that release. I honestly don't think any of these games that we witnessed today have that sort of kicking power. I also think that all of the like mediocre games, sure, they held our attention, but it wasn't like when we got Rollerdrome and Street Fighter 6 and Callisto Protocol 2 summers ago, where like we had the bangers with Resident Evil and Final Fantasy 16, and then the rest of the lineup was also phenomenal. This was very much a, hey, the tentpoles are really solid. Like rock solid. For me, I'm calling my shot right now. I give Astros a 9 later this year. That's gonna happen. That's just gonna fucking happen.
Nick loves
I
giving
think
high
it's gonna
scores.
be awesome.
I think
Game of the
awesome
year.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Right up there with
Nine's
Hellblade
a-
2, dude.
yeah.
All right.
We're
I'm
gonna
gonna be getting
comparing
shit for
everything
that.
to Hellblade 2 for the rest of our
Every
lives.
single. My whole thing is I just have to accept it. Also, we're allowed to change our scores. Maybe I'll give it a 9 one day.
I can't believe you.
Anyways, final thoughts.
Good showcase. Happy to be able to react with everybody and enjoy PlayStation for a little bit. Get some positivity. Hopefully, it's not super toxic online talking about this for the next few weeks. But I had a good time. Yeah.
Me too. I'm glad that it worked out. So we were all in town. If this happened last Thursday, that would have been very upsetting. But they did us a favor.
Before we roll out, I just want to throw out there, what could we see from PlayStation? This is just a question you got to ask every single time because they do go first every single time. What are we getting on Keeley stage from PlayStation?
The Lego Horizon game.
I think that's that or Horizon remake or something that's Horizon. It's
Dude,
going to be Horizon. Lego Horizon's.
Do you hear about this rumor?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
major
Fucking
rumor.
crazy.
It's the wildest shit ever.
But
I
it
think
makes
It would
sense.
make it better.
Yeah.
I
It's
also
only-
think I do believe that there is a world. There's a world where we still get Metal Gear Solid Delta some other stage this summer,
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
I think that is also. Still
Oh my
could be
goodness,
this year.
yeah, dude. If Metal Gear Solid Delta is November, do we have any major November game?
I don't
that
think so.
makes perfect sense.
It's
And so Konami would be September it was October.
Yeah.
For Silent Hill in November. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I also could see it being even earlier, and maybe they because we've seen full gameplay sequences of that game later last year. So like it could be out a year later. I'm stoked. I think that that could show up anywhere too. It could be Xbox. It could be
really
State
could
of Play,
be, yeah.
or it could be SGF. Hell, maybe it's in the Nintendo Direct. But this is a great way to kick off a summer of gaming. If you like what you saw and you liked listening to this pod, if you're listening to this on the audio feeds, go check out the YouTube page. We're going to have all of our reactions up there for every major showcase this summer. It's going to be a ton of fun. Thank you so fucking much for being here. Shout out to that person that gave us the huge ass raid to kick it off. That was unbelievable.
That was insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
To just go from like 85 people
Do
to
we have the name
900.
of them?
Duran.
Yeah.
I think that
Something
was
like
it.
that. We'll go back and we'll
go
find
and
it.
check it out.
But shout out to them. I just want to give them their proper.
Oh, it's going back
shout
now.
out.
Let's see. It is
Dura JN, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Dura, JN, thank you.
And shout out to all the new follows. We gained almost 100 followers today.
And we're going to go live at 8:00 for
Undertale.
with Nick. So yeah.
All right, we will see you there. Thank you so much. Peace out. All right, do we want to take a moment to just talk to chat real quick?
I gotta go.
Shout out was given to Duran.